Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on the old show today, Alfa Romeo's been in the news a lot. Well, mainly for the sheer fact that Volkswagen AG continues to try to buy or purchase Alfa away from Fiat. Now this deal's been going back and forth for quite some time, Fiat saying that they're not interested in selling it, but Volkswagen keeps sending them offers and talking all about in the news how they would really be able to move Alfa forward. Well, Alfa is not actually sitting down twiddling its thumbs waiting for what happens with this particular deal. They're working on a brand new rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive platform. They want to take on the biggest of the bigs. They're going to want to take on the brand new BMW 4 Series. Not only are they going after these folks, they're going after its bigger brother, the 5 Series as well. Impressive company this company's trying to keep now. They're trying to go after BMW. They're going after the top of the line. If you're going to aim for the top, that's the way to build the best car in my eyes. Next up on the list, a lot of rumors floating around the brand new Supra from Toyota. Could be making its official debut at the Detroit Motor Show in the first part of 2014. Which is maybe only a month away, at least from the taping of this particular program. Now, nothing official has come from Toyota, but a lot of people are pointing towards this date as this vehicle's release party. Now, there's been a lot of talk that this vehicle may be a hybrid. Also talk it may be a V10. Lexus has a V10. The LFA would go perfectly in this model. So, tell you what, Toyota's starting to build some stuff that's pretty doggone exciting here lately, especially with the whole GT86 project. So, happy to see Toyota getting back to building exciting cars instead of the stuff that they have been building. Next up on the list, speaking of exciting cars, the Ferrari LaFerrari, exciting car with a terrible name. Needless to say, they've got over 1,000 people who are interested in this vehicle, and now that we're getting down to the nitty-gritty, Ferrari's getting ready to actually build these vehicles instead of going through the testing phase that this vehicle's been going through over the past several months. Well, Ferrari's in an interesting situation. Those 1,000 people that are interested, which I thought was kind of soft in my mind as far as the amount of people that would be interested in this car, they're only going to build 499 of them. So they're going through that list of people, trying to figure out which ones are actually going to get the opportunity to spend $1.4 million to actually own this particular model. Now, 120 of these are coming stateside, so if you live here in the U.S., there's a vague chance you may get to see one of these. Interesting situation when it comes to Ferrari. We'll keep you in tune. Chances are, if you live anywhere around someone who is going to own one of these, the scream when they hear the news that they're going to get the opportunity might be able to be here for miles. Next up on the list, speaking of high-ends, the Bugatti Veyron's in the news. Bugatti come out and said that they've sold their 400th of the 450 units that they're actually going to build of this particular model. Now, 300 of these were all going to be hardtops, and 150 of them were going to be roadsters. Well, the 300 hardtops are gone now. All that's left are the roadsters, and all that's left now is the Grand Sport Fatigues. Now, this 400th model was sold off in the Middle East for 2.13 million euros or 2.9 million US dollars. So if you got a hankering to get a Veyron, you better get on the stick because there's only 50 of them left. Next up on the list, well, if you saw my last video, sadly it took me so long to get it uploaded to the interwebs that the new Mustang had already been out. We were showing off some teaser photos, or at least some photos that leaked out on the old interweb, but here it is in all its glory. I was pretty disappointed when I first saw this automobile because I thought, gosh darn it, I thought they weren't going to go retro, and I thought the thing looks really retro. But after a day or so and gotten to see better high-res pictures, I have to say, I think I may be falling in love. This is a fantastic looking automobile. In fact, after talking to a buddy of mine who says he's also falling in love with this car. So, pretty interesting piece when it comes from Ford. Now let's talk about some of the nitty gritty about this car. A lot of aluminum parts going to be used up front to help with the weight balance of this particular model. Now also they've got an all new interior that's supposedly the most well screwed together interior that anybody's ever seen inside of a Mustang. This is supposedly top notch type stuff. especially because this vehicle is going to be sold around the world. Now let's get up to the part where everybody's excited about, and let's talk about the power for this machine. Now, the entry-level model is going to get a 3.7-liter, normally aspirated V6, putting out 300 brake horsepower and 280 pounds-feet of torque. But in quite the surprise, the next up model is going to come with a 2.3-liter EcoBoost twin-scroll turbocharged 4-cylinder. But that thing is going to be putting out 305 brake horsepower and 300 pounds-feet of torque. Boy, that really got me thinking, that's pretty doggone powerful. In fact, just 10 years ago, the 4.6-liter V8 that the Mustang had in it didn't even make 300 brake horsepower. At least not the GT version didn't. So, impressive situation that you're in now. Wonder if the insurance would be a whole lot cheaper on that turbo one. Bet it would shuffle around this car quite well. Now, you can go all the way up to the GT version, will come with a 5-liter, normally aspirated V8, putting out 420 brake horsepower and 390 pounds-feet of torque. Now, both of these particular lumps, or all three of these lumps, will actually be shifted through a 6-speed automatic transmission that will come with paddle shifts, or a 6-speed manual transmission as well. Now, a lot of exciting things. 4-wheel independent suspension is going to be on this particular model, which has long since been rumored. Yes, the solid rear axle is gone and the independent rear suspension is in. All of these vehicles will be built in Dearborn, Michigan to the world, especially right-hand drive models, which will be going to the European markets and in Asia and Austria. So pretty doggone impressive when it comes to these new Mustangs. It's a gorgeous piece. And a little bit under the radar, the convertible version was actually shown off as well, even though it kind of got drowned out in the hype. Not a whole lot different between the standard version and the convertible version as far as hardtop to soft top, other than this new soft top will be a soft top, and it will be electric in all models for the first time. And next up on the list, well, the brand new Nissan GTR. Nissan took the wraps off of this thing kind of unceremoniously, not at a major auto show or nothing, because there really isn't much to talk about, sadly, in this car. A little bit of aero work's been done to it, a little bit of suspension upgrades to make the suspension a little bit more compliant. All new interior option for this vehicle, which is probably the best part of it. This beautiful twin two-tone interior deal is pretty doggone stunning, if you ask me. Again, the vehicle is very little changed, but that's all because there's a brand new GTR on the horizon. Next up on the list, well, we talked about that brand new Z06 that's going to be making its official debut at the Detroit Motor Show. Well, this picture hit the interwebs over the past couple of days, and I got to say, holy mackerel, look at this thing. Now, it's already been determined that this is a fake. Very good job of photoshopping. But let's talk a little bit about what could be and could not be for the Z06. Apparently, the 7-liter is going bye-bye. GM dropping the 7-liter altogether, and apparently this vehicle is going to get a forced induction version of the 6.2-liter V8. A lot of talk says it's going to be twin turbocharged. A lot of talk says it's going to be supercharged. Mainly, the supercharged probably a little bit more likely, mainly because General Motors has gone with supercharging for most all their high-end automobiles so far. So we'll wait and see what comes of this deal. The one thing that's almost for certain, the power. They're talking something well north of 600 brake horsepower. Yeah, this thing's going to be pretty doggone slick. So we'll wait and see what comes of this in Detroit. Chances are we're going to get some information a little bit sooner than that. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this week's Motor Cars Enthusiast. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page, the link's down in the show notes. Also, if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time and get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.